Greeny of what, but it's definitely a skull.
Okay, rotating.
La taille du cerveau, bien sûr, augmente, mais pas assez rapidement.
Oh, that is definitely a bean.
Can I see it?
This is an incredible fossilized tree stump that's Paleocene in age. And it's remarkable how large this tree would have been when it was alive. You can see the diameter is quite large. The problem is we don't know what kind of tree this was. And so in order to better understand the plant ecosystems at Corral Bluffs, we use the fossil leaves, the flowers, seeds, and even the pollen that we dig out of trenches to figure out what kind of trees grew here.
Ici, on a des roches argileuses qui sont absolument parfaites pour prélever des fossiles qui sont microscopiques. On va retrouver des centaines de milliers de fossiles de spores et de grains de pollen qu'on pourra analyser. Ici, on va utiliser de l'acide pour dissoudre les minéraux des échantillons qu'on a prélevés sur le terrain pour libérer les spores et les pollens fossiles qui sont prisonnés dans la roche. Ce qu'on observe dans les échantillons de Crétacé, c'est une flore très diversifiée, avec beaucoup d'espèces de spores et de grains de pollen. Et quand on passe la limite Crétacé-Paléogène, de nombreuses espèces de plantes disparaissent. Et on observe un niveau qui correspond à la chute de l'impact de l'astéroïde, qui contient énormément de fragments de charbon, qui sont le reflet de feux de forêt très importants qui se sont développés sur l'ensemble de la Terre. Après cette couche de charbon, on voit que le couvert végétal revient assez rapidement. Les écosystèmes sont dominés par les fougères. Cette recolonisation va durer à peu près une centaine d'années. Et le couvert végétal va petit à petit revenir sous une forme différente puisque la diversité n'est plus la même. Oh yeah, it's right there.
You ready to dig some leaves?
We are ready to do this. All right.
Look at this palm overlap.
Wow. Palms everywhere.
Yeah.
But that's a beautiful specimen there. And if we peel that layer, there's another one under it. Just stack one on top of each other.
You can imagine standing next to this river and just seeing.
Them floating away.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Up.
Starting to find evidence of other
yeah.
flowering plants.
Yeah, there's a couple leaves already.
Yeah.
But the real good stuff is below. We should remove all the overburden and then we'll be ready to pop some big blocks.
Can't find a big leaf on a small rock.
Ah, we have it.
Yes.
We have one. Look at that. Oh, you have some
layer
too.
Yep.
Wow.
The evolution of plants in the first million years of the Paleocene is really a story of chance and growth strategies. If you have a good seed bank, then you have a better chance of surviving. If you're a wind-pollinated plant, then you have a better chance of surviving and thriving than an insect-pollinated plant, because that insect pollinator might have gone extinct.
There's another one just under it. You want the leaf to be entire because you can learn more about the climate?
That's exactly right. So we need to look at the margin or the outside of the leaf. And when we have all of the leaves that are from a particular site, we can use the proportion of margins that are smooth to those that are tubed or more jagged to tell us about the mean annual temperature of the locality.
Hey guys.
So we're here today digging out the oldest known legumes on Earth. The legumes that we're finding here at Corral Bluffs are dated to about 65.5 to 65.3 million years ago. And they're about 500 to 700,000 years after the mass extinction event. And so what we're really seeing are these great Paleocene ecosystems rebounding and new types of plants moving into the Corral Bluffs area in Colorado.
An Antoine identification.
Oh, that is definitely a bean.
Yes.
Nicely done. Gorgeous. When we're looking at localities close to the asteroid impact, we find that there's a very low diversity of plants. The further in time you get from that boundary, the more plant species that we have. And this is also correlated to climate here in Colorado in the early Paleocene. So we find that when there are intervals of warming, we actually get higher plant diversity.
Guys, what you got here, Gussie?
Well, we have these two beautiful palm trunks. Can you see this guy and this guy?
That's super cool. Looks like I'm in Florida right now.
And these are Paleocene in age, so it's after the boundary that these were growing.
Wow, that's gonna look great in the museum.
I know, right? The next task is to get this out of the field and into the museum.
Easy peasy, okay?
Yeah, how much do you think it weighs?
Oh man, I'm gonna guess at least 350 pounds. Price is right, what do you think?
I have no idea. I'm having trouble picking it up with just myself, so.
Yeah. I think we can do it.
Yep, we got that turtle out.
Yep.
We can get these palms out.
Exactly. Cool, all right, well.
Okay. I'll slide it between Antoine and the yep, okay.
I think it's double the weight of the turtle we collected the other day. Which scares me. Goodness, I've got it in there, right? The weight's not even right now. There's way more weight on it. Okay, we'll blow out our backs and we'll come back down.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Ready?
Yep.
1, 2,
3. So maybe I call in my friends. Yeah. Well, it was a valiant effort. We moved it 1 foot.
Yeah. What are you thinking?
20. It's just a rodeo. Because whatever plan you have, it never works. Yeah, you have to go to plan B and then C. But that's also part of the fun. We're already on plan C. Plan B was to have Natalie and Salvador come tomorrow. And so they had offered to come and help muscle it out. But as much as I like muscling things out, this is not one to be muscled out. It's gonna take a bit of engineering. So then plan C was to call Chris, who was just like, well, I'll come out. We got it on here, picked it up about that far, and we're like, nope. I'm like, I'm gonna call some friends.
Not gonna work. We'll see what we can do.
Yeah.
Potentially nothing, but potentially something. the actual ATV.
Should I bring up a strap?
Yeah. Let's see.
The thing is, those things always there, we cinch down, right? I mean, those are visible. There we go. This is a paradigm shift for science right here. This is a game-changing specimen.
I'm studying the fossil insect damage on leaves from coral bluffs to try to understand the types of insects that were at coral bluffs and what they were eating. We're only left with the traces of their behavior, in this case, how they ate plants. Things like hole feeding, feeding along the edge of the leaf, even things like galls and leaf mines. After the asteroid impact, the types of damage and the amount of damage start to increase in number. We see that insect communities are rebuilding and rebounding and evolving.
Hey Lindsay, how's it going?
Hi Tyler, what's up?
I got a great skull here that just came back from prep.
It's awesome.
It's a little crushed when you look at it over here. You can see
Oh yeah.
the snout kind of got pushed in, but
That looks like an easy fix.
I was thinking it might be a good one to get CT scanned. What do you think?
I agree. This will be exciting. I hope there's something back there.
More of a challenge. Cool. Well, I'll take it to Lockheed Martin, and they'll CT scan it, and then they'll send you the data.
Perfect. And hopefully we'll find something really cool inside.
You're becoming one of our favorite customers.
So I got a really cool fossil here for you guys to CT scan.
Wow, look at that.
What do you think? Is that doable?
Very doable.
Yeah. Let's take a look.
About a year and a half ago, Tyler contacted us about our equipment capability here at Lockheed Martin, and we gave him a tour and showed him our fine equipment that we have here.
Yes, normally we use this equipment for non-destructive testing of space hardware, from electronics to advanced composites, to look for any defects in the quality of the hardware that Lockheed Martin makes. Today, though, we are doing a non-destructive evaluation of this fossil to evaluate the inner workings of it with this CT scan equipment that can get a 3D look inside to help out the museum in their pursuits.
Here are the images from the CT scan. And as we start scrolling through that data set, we start getting more of the model being built. We'll go really slow, and you can see some teeth showing up here. So these are the organs of hearing and balance. The semicircular canals are the organs of balance, and the cochlea is the organ of hearing. Those are the semicircular canals. And their angulation to each other is really important for understanding patterns of locomotion in these animals. And as we come back further in the skull, we get this really nice sagittal crest. This is where muscles of mastication, so chewing muscles, would have attached to the skull on this animal. And the larger those ridges are, the larger the muscles are. And the larger the muscles are usually indicates that these animals had really strong bite force.
Let's have a look at the largest mammals that we found at Corral Bluffs.
Sure.
This is Eoconodon, and Eoconodon appeared roughly 700,000 years after the asteroid hit. And it likely ate nuts and legumes.
Right, that's about when we find the first fossil legumes at Corral Bluffs. So what did it look like?
Well, here it is. It was the size of a wolf, and it weighed around 70 kilograms.
No wonder it was so big. It was probably eating legumes, which are jam-packed with nutrients.
Yeah, and it had massive and powerful jaws with strong canines that could very easily crush the legume pods. There's not a huge change in turtle during that first 1 million years. And I think that's because they do really well across the boundary. So they're living in the Cretaceous. They all survive into the Paleocene. For the most part, they don't really care that a giant asteroid just struck Earth. And so then it's sort of business as usual. If you only looked at turtles, you wouldn't know there was a mass extinction because only 1 or 2 turtles goes extinct at this mass extinction. Usually these concretions, they behave.
Yeah, they round off.
Not always. Yeah, I mean, it looks pretty suspicious. But I mean, it's got an interesting shape.
Yeah, and
All
it's
of that,
behaving the same as this little thing is.
Yeah. No rocks are
This is
required.
a dream.
Part of the crocodilian skeleton here. And we won't know how much of the skeleton we have until we get it back to the lab, but we could have quite a bit of it. Depends on the size of this crocodilian. Very snake-like. Okay, I think that's got a piece of it in there.
Oh yeah? Oh yeah, so.
Crocodilians do quite well across the Cretaceous-Paleogene boundary. And similar to that with turtles. I mean, they have a slow metabolism, just like turtles. And then another really important factor for survivorship across this mass extinction is living in freshwater environments. But if you were to go back 65.3 million years ago when this crocodilian was alive, this would have been a very different environment. Would have been a lot like modern day Florida. Crocodilians swimming around in the rivers and then living in these ponded water environments. So warm and wet, very different than today. So we have several of the crocodilian fossils that we found from Corral Bluffs here on this table. We've got the really big ones that are about maybe 2 meters in length, all the way down to the ones that, if they're biggest, are probably only less than 1 meter in length. So what I do think is interesting is that we have at least three species living at Corral Bluffs at the same time. And so that's a relatively high level of diversity from one spot on the Earth. So we're continuing to find more really great fossil localities here. So we've got great mammals, turtles, crocodilians, but as you all know, we have not yet found any bird material. So that's really what I'm hoping to find this field season. Birds have a notoriously bad fossil record, and that's because their bones are hollow and they're well adapted for flying. So when the bird dies, it lands into a river system and then it just gets churned up and its bones get turned into dust. But there was one bird fossil found here at Corral Bluffs, a bird feather. So it's very, very remarkable. And so I know it's only a matter of time until we find some more bird fossils here at Corral Bluffs.
Hey, Tyler, how's it going?
Hey, man. Good to see you. It's been a while,
As
huh?
always.
What's new in Cambridge?
Oh, nothing's new in Cambridge. Everything here is very old. How are things with fieldwork?
Yeah, fieldwork it's going well. Yeah, we've been out here for three weeks now. We're finding lots of new stuff.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah, we found several new mammals. We found a really nice fish. We found my favorite, lots of turtles.
You know what I'm going to ask you.
I know, that's why I'm warming you up here. We found all of these other things, but we haven't found any birds yet.
Oh, not yet, but I know you will.
We will, absolutely.
Okay. Well, Tyler, great seeing you again, buddy.
Yeah, great seeing you as well, Dan. I'll let you get back to teaching, and I'm going to go hit the bluffs and see if I can find you a bird fossil.
Terrific. Hope you find one. Talk to you later.
All right, man. I'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.
This fossil seemed worth studying initially just because it clearly preserves a few bird bones. You can see there's a broken thigh bone on top, and there's a broken shin bone underneath. And we know how old these rocks are. They're about 66.7 million years old. So what we're looking at here is a bird from the very end of the age of dinosaurs. Maybe it would tell us something about what birds were like just before the asteroid wiped out the giant bird cousins, the large dinosaurs. Hey Kat, how's it going? I've got a fossil for you I'm hoping we can scan.
Okay.
It looks pretty ugly, but there are a few bird bones poking out, so it'd be interesting to know if there's something inside.
Yeah, sure. I'll be happy to give that a...
Okay.
Thank you.
It's so tantalizing, right, when you've got a fossil and you know there's something interesting inside. So it'll be amazing to see what the actual scans look like after we've scanned it for a few hours. So when we get the data back from the CT scanner, this is what we see. And we start to see bone, which is different in its density and therefore how bright it is, different from the rest of the rock matrix. When we removed the low-density rock and saw this skull staring back at us, my PhD student Juan and I could not believe our eyes. It was a shock, it was really exciting, and we realized immediately that this fossil was going to be very important because it could provide us with information that no other fossil ever discovered could. It was very exciting and one of the most exciting moments of my scientific career. This fossil is extraordinary because it shows several features that tell us that it is a member of the modern bird group. And the most obvious of those features is the fact that it does not have any teeth. So we know from the fossil record that archaic birds retained teeth all the way up to the origin of modern birds. And the fact that this fossil has a beak very similar to living generalist birds suggests that it probably would have been happy eating almost anything it could find. That sort of flexibility may have helped the surviving lineages of birds make it through the KPG crisis. We think it was about the same size as a small partridge, which is considerably smaller than the average archaic bird-like animal that was around when the asteroid struck. In addition to that, if you look at the leg bones of this fossil, they're relatively narrow and relatively long. And those are features that we associate with predominantly living on the ground in the present day. Modern birds are the only lineage of dinosaurs that survived that mass extinction. There are about 11,000 living species of birds, which tells us that there are 11,000 living species of dinosaurs.
Yeah, there's some little erosional surfaces.
There's bone in this one too. There's enamel there. The big ones are easier to find because they're bigger, but the smaller ones are much more difficult because they're small. And I've only found 3 or 4 small ones. For all the other mammal skulls, and I found dozens of them are the bigger ones. I think it's a cross section of a mammal skull. Would you agree?
Yeah. You wanna see?
It's tough, it's cryptic.
You're gonna be mad if I lick this?
I already licked it.
Oh my God.
Incredible, they're still out here. Let's get it back to the lab.
That's really cool.